Hello everybody, welcome to SMR Telugu Education. So next topic is sorting the data. Bubble sort. So arrange the data in sorting order. Okay. Here I am taking the array of size 6 elements. First element, next element, next, next, so total 6 elements are there. First element is 6, next element is 3, next element is 10, 5, 28 and 1. These are the array elements. You have to arrange these elements in sorting order. Every array has some name. First element is ARR of 0, ARR of 1, ARR of 2, ARR of 3, ARR of 4, ARR of 5. Here first index starts from 0 to n minus 1. Here I am taking the base addresses. Some address 500, 502, 504, 506, 508, 508. Okay. So how to arrange these elements in a sorting order? So bubble sort follow some algorithm. You have to follow the same thing. First you have to compare first element and second element. You have to compare these two. You have to compare these two values. Next you have to compare these two values. Next you have to compare 6 and 10. Next you have to compare. So in bubble sort, first you have to fix the first element. In bubble sort, sorting is from right to left. Sorting is from first in first pass. Here there is a word called iteration or pass. First iteration or first pass. The highest element is shifted to ARR of 5. So what is the highest element in the array is 28. This 28 is in first pass or first iteration. The highest number is shifted to ARR of 5. In first pass you have to compare this value into this value. We have to compare these two values. If this value 6 is greater than 3, this value is greater than this one, then you have to shift these two values. Okay, this is the first comparison. Next you have to compare these two values. If this value is greater than this one, you have to shift these two values. Next you have to compare this value into this one. If this one is greater than this one, then you have to interchange these two values. Next one, you have to compare this value into this thing. If this value is greater than this one, you have to shift these two values. Next you have to compare this number into this value, then you have to shift this value is greater than this one, you have to shift these two values. In pass 1, how many comparisons are there? This is first comparison, this one is second one, next one is third, next one is 4 and 5. In first pass, number of comparisons is 5. So number of comparisons is 5. So in first pass, which one is the highest element is shifted to error of 5. First you have to compare this element error of 0 and error of 1. First here you have to compare error of 0 is greater than error of 1. Here I am comparing 0 and 1. Then you have to shift these two values. In this case the condition is true, then you have to shift error of 0 and error of 1. Here I am shifting these two values. Here the value is 3, here the value is 6. Next you have to compare error of 1 and error of 2. We have to compare these two values. If error of 1 is greater than error of 2, then you have to shift these two values. Error of 1 is 6 is greater than 10, so condition fail. Then next you have to compare error of 2 and error of 3. Next you have to compare error of 2 and error of 3. If error of 2 is greater than error of 3, then you have to shift these two values. Error of 2 is 10 is greater than 5. Yes, condition true. Then you have to shift this value is 10, then this value is 5. Next you have to compare error of 3 and error of 4. Error of 3 is greater than error of 4, then this condition is true. Error of 3 is 10 and error of 4 is 28. If this condition is true, then you have to shift these two values. So this condition is failed. Next you have to compare error of 4 and error of 5. Next you have to error of 4 and error of 5. You have to compare these two values is greater than, so this condition is true. Error of 4 is 28, error of 5 is 1. Then you have to shift these two values. This value is 1, this value is 28. So after completion of the first pass, the which element is the highest element is come to the last. Okay, now in this first iteration or first pass, how many comparisons total? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So total how many comparisons? In first pass total 5 comparisons are there. Okay, now After completion of the first pass, the elements are in this position. This one is 5, this one is 10, 1, 28, 3, 6. Okay. Next, in second pass, in second iteration, in iteration 2, in second pass we have to compare error of 0, error of 0 and error of 1. If error of 0 is greater than error of 1, then you have to shift these two values. This condition is failed, then you have to compare with error of 1 is greater than error of 2. If this condition is true, then you have to shift these two values. This value is 5, this value is 6. Next one, you have to compare error of 2 is greater than error of 3. So error of 2 is greater than error of 3. This condition is failed. Next you have to compare error of 3 and error of 4. So error of 3 is greater than error of 4. Here error of 3 is 10 is greater than 1. Yes, condition true. Then you have to shift this value is 1, this value is 10. This is second pass. In second pass, total how many comparisons are there? Total 4 comparisons. First time total number of comparisons is 5. Now the number of comparisons are 4. This is the first pass. Our index value I is starts from 0. This is I will take, this one is pass 0. I value 0. This one is I value is 1. So after completion of the 2 passes, this is the first iteration. The highest value is goes to last place. In second pass, next highest is goes to error of 4. In third pass, we have to compare error of 0 and error of 1. If error of 0 is greater than error of 1, then you have to shift these two values. This one is failed. Next you have to check error of 1 is greater than error of 2. So error of 1 is 5 is greater than 6. Condition failed. Next you have to check error of 2 and error of 3. Error of 2 is 6 is greater than 1. Yes, condition true. You have to shift these two values. So shift these two values. Here the value is 6. This is the value is 1. So in pass 3, number of comparisons is, here the number of comparisons is 3. Next, this is the second pass. In pass 3, first you have to, after completion of the third iteration, the third highest values comes to third place. Next one is, in fourth pass, we have to compare error of 0 and error of 1. Error of 0 is greater than error of 1, then you have to shift these two values. Error of 0 3 is greater than 1, condition false. Next one, you have to check error of 1 and error of 2. If error of 1 is 6 is greater than 1, yes, condition true, then you have to shift these two values. This value is 1, this value is 5. In fourth pass, how many comparisons are there? 2 comparisons. In fifth pass, you have to compare error of 0 and error of 1. If error of 0 is greater than error of 1, this condition is true, then you have to shift these two values. Error of 0 is 3 is greater than error of 1, yes, condition true, then you have to shift these two values. So this value is 3, this value is 1. Here the number of comparisons is 1. See, please observe, here the number of the array size is 6, then number of passes is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means 5 passes or 5 iterations. That means the I value is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means the number of passes is 5 passes. If the size is n, then number of passes is n minus 1. So last element, only a single element, there is no comparisons. Okay. If I is equal to 0, then you have to compare. So how many comparisons? 5 comparisons. In first iteration, you have to total how many comparisons? 5 comparisons. Here you have to compare from 0 and 1, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5. That means here I am taking the starting value is 0. Here the starting value is 0, we are comparing with 1. Next value is 1, we are comparing with 2. Here I take the starting value is fixed 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here also the starting value is 0, 1, 2, 3. Starting value is fixed 0. Here also starting value is 0, 1, 2. The starting value is fixed. Here also the starting value is 0, 1. The starting value is fixed. Here the starting value is 0. So in each iteration the starting value is fixed. So how to convert this one into code? So first outer loop is starting value is fixed. So starting value is 0. So last value is fixed or not? We don't know last value, leave it. I is equal to I plus 1. This is the outer loop. Here the array size is take array size is n. Here array size is 6. If array size is 6, then here the number of passes is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means here you have to write 0 to 5. 5 means less than n minus 1. Then you have to, this loop is repeated how many number of times? 0 to n is 5. Then I value is G 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, next. Here the comparisons, each comparison, first 0, second comparison also 0, next also 0, next also 0, 0. So in this starting value is fixed. Here I am taking another inner loop. So j is equal to 0, starting value is fixed, j less than or equal to, every time j is incremented by 1, j is equal to j plus 1. Here we are comparing 0 and 1, 1 and 2, 2 and 3. Here we are comparing j value is incremented by every time 1. That's why here I am incrementing j value is 1. Here you have to think about what is the last value. So this inner loop is repeated fixed number of times or variable number of times. So this inner loop is repeated. First how many number of times loop is repeated? 5 times. Second time how many comparisons? 4. Next time how many comparisons? 3. Next time 2. Next time 1. Okay. Now here the value of n is, so value of n is 6. This is the I value is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How to get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? So here the last value is variable value. First year we are writing, no need to write r equal to, I am writing less than, array is always less than 0 to less than. Here total how many comparisons? 5 comparisons. That means here you have to write what is the value, starting you have to write 5. Then this loop is repeated 5 times. Next time here you have to write 4. Next time this loop is repeated, so 3 times. Here you have to write 3. Next time 2. Next time 1. That means the inner loop is repeated variable number of times. That means here we have to write some variable value. First here the j is repeated how many number of times? First j is repeated, first how many, first you have to write 5, then this loop is repeated 5 times. Next time is 4, then this loop is repeated 4 times. Next 3, next time 2 times. Next time 1, next time 1 time. Now here you have to write some variable. Now here we are comparing error of 0 with error of 1. Here we are comparing error of 0 and error of 1. That means error of j, how to get 1? We have to add plus 1, error of j and error of j plus 1. Here j value is 1, we are comparing with next element j plus 1. Here the j value is 2, we are comparing with 3, j plus 1. Here we are comparing error of j and error of j plus 1. If error of j is greater than error of j plus 1, then we have to interchange the values. Here I am checking the condition. If error of j is greater than error of j plus 1, then interchange error of j and error of j plus 1. Swapping of two values. We already know how to swap these two values. Okay. Now what is the condition here you have to write? Here first you have to write 5, next time first you have to write 5, next time is 4, next time is 3, next time is 2, next time is 1. How to write these values? Here, so what is the value of, first how to get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here the n value is 6, I value is 1. Next 6, second iteration 6, 1. Next one is 6, 2. Next one is 6, 3. Next one is 6, 4. Here I am writing n minus I. Value is 6. N minus I 5. Here the n minus I value is n minus I value is 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. This is the n minus I value. But how to get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? decrease one value from decrease one value minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1. Here you have to write n minus i minus 1. So starting value I is in first pass I is equal to 0, I less than 5, condition true. Then this loop is repeated how many number of times? 5 times. This is first. This is the first comparison. This is the second. This is the third. This is the fourth. This is the fifth. If the condition is true, then they are interchanged. After completion of the first pass, the highest values goes to the last position. In second pass, number of comparisons is 4. Then highest values goes to next place. Now how to convert this one into code? In this program, how many variables are you using? N, the size of array, next I and j. Alt F, new, F5, F2 save, file name is some name .c, void main. Okay, so here declaring array of size. Our wish, here I am taking array size is 6, or if you want you can scan n value from the user. Array size is 6 and scan the array values I for I and j. Clear the screen. Ask the end user to enter the values. Enter array elements. For I is equal to 0, I less than 6. Here I am writing fixed 6 values I plus plus. Here printf /n enter %d element comma I plus 1. So enter first element, second element, some message and scan the values. Here I am using address of ARR of I, or if you want you can directly write ARR plus I by using pointers. Okay, we have to scan the values. Next you have to write the logic for swapping, logic for bubble sort. First number of passes is n minus 1, that means total number of passes 5. For how to convert this one into code. This is the outer loop. In this outer loop, this is the initialization, this is the condition, this is the iteration. So in this outer loop, you have to write once again the inner loop. This is initialization for I is equal to 0, condition I less than 6 minus 1, that means 5, I plus plus. So in this outer loop, once again you have to write the loop. J is equal to 0, j less than, here the condition is n minus I minus 1, j plus plus. Here we are comparing f j and f j plus 1. If error of j, that means error of 0 and 1, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4. Error of j is greater than error of j plus 1. Then interchange these two values. Error of j is equal to error of j plus error of j plus 1. Error of j plus 1 is equal to error of j minus error of j plus 1. Here error of j is equal to, this is the interchanging logic. We already know how to interchange two variables a and b. A is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. How to interchange? Same logic. Printf array elements are slash n. Okay, so for I is equal to 0, I less than 6, I plus plus, and printf percentage d, I am giving space comma error of I. So F7, instead of n here size is 6 minus I minus 1. So F7 Windows watch. Here I am adding error and then j I and j values, I, j and j plus 1 also, j, j plus 1. So our execution always starts from main function. Memory is allocated for 6 elements. So enter array elements. First enter 6, next 3, next we are enter 10, next one is 5, next one is 28, next one is 1. These are the 6 array elements. So please observe, this is the first pass, I is equal to 0, I is equal first in first pass, so j value is 0. Here total how many comparisons? 5 comparisons. A are of 0 and 1, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5, total 5 comparisons. First j value is 0, j plus 1, both error of 0 and error of 1. This condition true or false? True. This code is executed. These two are interchanged. 3 is in error of 0 and 6 is in error of 1. Yes, these two are interchanged. Next, j value is increment by 1, error of 1 and error of 2, condition failed. Next, error of 2 and error of 2 and 3, yes, this condition is true. Then these two are interchanged. These two are 5 here, 5, 15, 5 and 10. Next, 3 and 4, this condition is failed. This code is not executed. Next, 4 and 5, this condition is true. Then 28 is here and 1. These two are interchanged. 28 and 1. See, first pass, what is the highest element is? Sorting is from right to left. In first pass, highest element is in last position. Next I value is 1. Next in second pass, next second highest is in the second place. Yes, true. Error of 0 and 1, this is failed. Next, compare these two values. True. These two are interchanged. Yes. Next, these two, condition failed. Next, 10, 1, this condition is true. These two are interchanged. 10 and 1. In second pass is completed. I is equal to 1 is completed. In this, second highest value is in second position. In third pass, I is equal to 2. Once again, third highest is come to this place. Comparison from 0 to error of 0 and error of 1. That's why j is equal to 0. This condition is j and j plus 1. Fail. Next, these two. error of 0 1 is greater than error of 2, condition failed. Next 6 1, yes, condition true, then these statements are executed, these two values are interchanged. Yes. Next, so third pass is completed, third iteration is completed, third element is goes to third position. So in bubble sort, sorting is from right to left. Next pass, these two condition failed, next these two condition true, these two are interchanged, 5 is here, 1 is here. Next I is equal to 4, these two are interchanged, check the condition, yes true, these two are interchanged. Yes. Next I value is 5, 5 less than 5, condition pass, out of the loop. Next this statement is executed, array elements are alt F5, array elements are F7, first element is so F7, so first element is 1, next second element is 3, F7 next element is 5, F7 next element is 6, F7 alt F5 10, F7 alt F5 28, F7 memory is deallocated. So this is the bubble sort. Here the number of passes is 1 to n minus 1. So how to write this code? By using pointers concept, without using, similarly how to write, without writing address, simply how to write error plus I. Here also at the time of printing also, this can be also written as asterisk error plus 1, both are same. I alt F9, yes, control F elements, first element is 3, 6, 2, 8, 10, 1. So alt F5 same 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 10. Okay, this is bubble sort. So please debug and write step by step. It is at the first time it is very difficult to understand. Okay. So still you have any doubts, please repeat once again. Thank you for watching.